Shalom, Kol Halo Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word and truth and in sincerity, hopefully like Tabernacle of David. All right, the true watchmen of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai are the men of GMS. And this is what we do. We actually watch and warn, starting here at Ezekiel 3:17. Okay. It's our job description. We'll start, Son of Man, King James. Son of man, I've made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. Now, let's go here to the contemporary English. Ezekiel, son of man, I have appointed you to stand watch for the people of Israel. Okay? So, we were appointed to this position. And therefore, you have to be accurate in what you're doing. So listen to what I say, then warn them from me. Who is them? The people of Israel. From who? Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Good news. Mortal man, not even good news. Salakia. Saw something better. Must be God's word. Son of man, I have made you a watchman over the people of Israel. Listen to what I say and warn them for me. Okay? For me. All right? And that's what we're doing now. Go to Habakkuk. Warn them of what? Habakkuk 2 and 3. Let's go straight to, I believe this is what I was looking for. At the time I have, this is contemporary English, Habakkuk 2 and 3. At the time I have decided, my words will come true. You can trust what I say about the future. It may take a long time, but keep on waiting. It will happen. All right? Good news. Put it in writing because it is not yet time for it to come true, but the time is coming quickly. Right now we're in that time. And what I will show you will come true. Talking about the vision. Okay? The vision. What are the visions? The prophecies. Okay? It may seem slow in coming, but wait for it. It will certainly take place, and it will not be delayed. We're in the time that it's taking place and will not be delayed. All the way down to the sea hip. Okay? Now, we go to what? We started at Ezekiel, right? Okay. Now we go to the big four. Okay? And the big four start with, let's start with Ezekiel 30. Because it says it. It gives it a name. All right? What is wrong here? Okay, that's not going to work. Let's see. Oh, come on. There we go. One of these will work. Bear with me. Wow. Okay, I have a little problem here. Bear with me. Yeah, like a freeze here. Okay. I'm trying to go around this. Let's see. Ezekiel 30. Okay. Here we go. It's acting up. I got to go around, so bear with me. Ezekiel 30 and 7. Jeremiah 30. It's a lot. That's why. Bear with me. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. So this is the big four. There is Jacob's trouble, but he, the elect, shall be saved out of it. Okay. Let's go here. Let's go to Second Ezra. 74. Second Ezra 16:74. Hear, O ye my beloved, said the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble. What trouble? Jacob's trouble. Okay. Here's the name. The days of trouble. Here's the warning. Jacob's trouble. 1, 2. The days of trouble are at hand, meaning they're here. What are we doing? We're warning who? His beloved. Who is that? But I will deliver you, beloved, the elect, from the same. Okay? Same thing. Here's the trouble. Here's the delivery. Jeremiah. Here's the trouble. Here's the delivery. He shall be saved. Who's that? That's the elect. Daniel. Well, okay, so that's 2. Here's 3. And at that time, Daniel 12 and 1. At that time, shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, Jacob's trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book, the elect. Thy people, who's thy people? Israel, everyone that shall be found written in the book, the elect. There's the trouble, time of trouble, Jacob's trouble. There's the delivery, the salvation, the saving. Okay? That's 3. All saying the same thing. Matthew. Matthew 24 and 21, right? For then shall be great tribulation, trouble, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be what? Saved. There's the saving. Here's the trouble. No, that says tribulation. Saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Name the elect that time. Okay? Elect, saved, trouble. Okay? It says tribulation. Okay? Great distress, great anguish, tribulation. Okay? Looking for the word trouble. Suffering. The trouble. For the trouble at that time, what time? Jacob's trouble. Now. Okay? Tribulation. Great suffering. Great oppression. Okay? There's 4. Okay? Let's go back to Matthew. Now we'll go here. At the end, start at 3, Matthew 24 and 3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? Okay. Great deception. He answered, what are the signs? And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay, for nation shall rise against nation. And my point is this: you can see this devil doing these things, performing these things, causing them to happen. All right, and we're going to look at that. Nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, World War III. And there shall be famines. Is this devil not creating a famine? And pestilences, CV, and earthquakes in diverse places. These are the beginning of sorrows, Jacob's trouble. Okay, so now, let's go. We're going to go to the brother, right? The brother, let me see, this right here. We're going to watch this. This is an excellent piece. Okay, so this is going to detail, this is the brother GMS Vegas sit-downs, 144, 14 hours ago. Okay, now what this is going to detail is going to detail why the wars are happening. And because they're being fomented by man. And it's going to go into why the earthquakes are happening, because it's hand in hand with the wars. And this is going to explain it. You got to do some reading, but I'm going to just let it play. All right, I'm already long-winded. Okay, so it's going to explain the earthquakes and how they're being created by this devil. The devil made me do it. Okay, is the name of this video. Here we go.
Bosna Hersek direnişinin 30 tane teröristi istedik. Vermeyiz dediler. Siz teröristleri bize vermeyeceksiniz. Ama bizden kalkıp NATO üyeliğini isteyeceksiniz. NATO bir güvenlik oluşumudur. Bir güvenlik teşkilatıdır. Dolayısıyla bu güvenlik teşkilatını güvenlikten yoksun hale getirmeye biz evet diyemeyiz. Diyorlar ki efendim işte
they are now asking about our demands so that they can request them from Sweden and Finland. Once bitten, twice shy.
sokulmayı düşünmüyoruz.
We experienced the same thing with Greece.
Biliyoruz.
We know that both Finland and Sweden will play the same trick on us. I'm sorry, but why should we make such a mistake?
NATO'ya, Finlandiya ve İsveç'in
We have told allies that we will say no
ilgili arkadaşlar
to Finland and Sweden's NATO membership.
devam edeceğiz.
Amerikan Büyükelçisi'ne buradan söylüyorum. Hangi gazetecilere yazı yazdırdığını biliyorum. Pis ellerini Türkiye'nin üzerinden çek. Çok net söylüyorum. Pis ellerini Türkiye'nin üzerinden çek. Neleri yaptırdığınızı, hangi adımları attırdığınızı, Türkiye'yi nasıl karıştırmak istediğinizi net bir şekilde biliyoruz. O pis ellerinizi, o maskeli, sırıtan yüzlerinizi Türkiye'nin üzerinden çekiniz. Bu kadar açık ve net.
The damage almost unimaginable. Two powerful earthquakes struck Turkey and neighboring Syria. 10,000 people are feared dead. Watch as aftershocks from the 7.8 quake bring down an entire apartment building. People run for their lives. This reporter is doing a live shot when a strong aftershock hits. He flees with everyone, and when the cameraman turns around, you can see what a close call it was. Then the reporter runs back to help a family emerging from the debris. He grabs a child in his arms and tries to comfort her. Cameras caught another building collapsing. Drone footage shows the scale of the devastation. A desperate search is underway to find victims buried alive. Closer to home, a much smaller earthquake measuring 3.8 on the Richter scale was felt in Buffalo, New York this morning. Nerves were already frayed in the city that's been through so much recently, including this historic blizzard that left 47 people dead. The Buffalo quake did not do any serious damage. Could the two earthquakes be related?
The Buffalo event was many hours later, and so in that sense, I think the chances are very low that the Buffalo event really had much to do with that far event in Turkey.
Something strange happened in the sky in Turkey before the earthquake.
Saatine dikkat 04.08 yani tam da deprem anı. Aynı anda Düzce'nin değişik yerleri ve Zonguldak'ta da benzer görüntüler kayıt altına alındı. Sarsıntıyla beraber bir top ışık hüzmesi belirdi. İşte böyle ve kayboldu. Daha önce başka depremlerde de benzer görüntüler.
Frequency. What we used to do is beam radio waves into the ground, and it would vibrate any strings that were present in the ground. We might get a sound back like, and we'd say, that's natural gas. We might get a sound back like, and we'd say that's crude oil. We were able to identify each frequency. We accomplished this with just 30 watts of radio power. If you do this with 2 billion watts, the vibrations are so violent that the entire piano would shake. In fact, the whole house would shake. In fact, the vibrations could be so severe underground that could even cause an earthquake.
There it is. Okay, there's too much information here not to understand that they can do this. This is 2021. This is 2002. Concerning the U.S. plans to develop a qualitatively new type of weapon under the HARP program. Okay, so a new HARP is what they did.
Venezuelan leader Hugo Chavez has once again accused the United States of playing God. But this time it's Haiti's disastrous earthquake that he thinks the U.S. was behind. Spanish newspaper ABC quotes Chavez as saying that the U.S. Navy launched a weapon capable of inducing a powerful earthquake off the shore of Haiti. He adds that this time it was only a drill, and the final target is destroying and taking over Iran. The existence of a tectonic weapon has never been proved, but its use is often suspected by conspiracy theorists. For example, the leader of Georgia's Green Party accused Russia of being behind an earthquake on Georgian territory in 2002.
Okay, good enough. All right, so there's that. That's dealing with war, and let's get it again. I can bring it to mind, okay? and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. Why did they create those earth? Basically, what you just saw, right, is geopolitics going into wars and rumor. Where this is a rumor right here, all right? Rumors of war. That's one. Wars and rumors of war. Scratch that off. Okay. And earthquakes in diverse places. Scratch that off. And the point I'm making is somebody's doing this and we're watching. We have the information that man, okay, the devil, Edom, can do this. Did you see Hugo Chavez? Chavez was much likely he's a Jake. He's like, this devil. Chavez goes to the UN and he goes, the devil was standing right here. I can still smell the sulfur. Okay? He knew who the devil was before they put his ass to death for shaking hands with him. Okay, so we got earthquakes in diverse places being caused by man. Okay? Who's causing these wars? That's easy. All right? Davos, Switzerland, they get together, they make a little plan, they carry out the plan. NATO is going to do what? NATO forces Russia into war. What comes up? It's 2 months. Did NATO push Ukraine into war? How NATO could respond. Come on. How NATO's Article 5 could pull U.S. into Russia's war. NATO to directly fight Putin's army. They're making them. All right. If you don't understand that America and NATO are forcing them, Vlad don't want to fight. He will. He has to. All right. That's what's going on. All right, so let's move on. So we got earthquakes being man-made created. All right, did they create the harp? Most High gave them the instructions, and now they're doing it. Yeah? Okay, so. Famine. Let's get this.
To the
Of course, we got to deal with a million. How about this famine that's going on? Let's get to 12.
people at least talking about their chickens not laying eggs and how they were able to fix it. It was generally speaking feeding them different food, and of course a lot of it.
So what did he just say? Oh well, they're giving the chickens in their feed hormones that will stop them from laying eggs, or we'll just say that it was some sort of disease and we'll go wipe out the whole plant. Right?
Be two different brands, and these two brands happen to be owned by Purina, I think. So two different feeds, and one was from Tractor Supply, or maybe one or both were from Tractor Supply. But at any rate, there's lots of people that have found ways around it. They fed them their chickens goat's feed, or they fed them some stuff that they had instead, or they just found some other brand that was local or whatever. They were able to get around it. But the fact is that has been happening, and that also is contributing to these egg prices, the soaring egg prices. Of course, they try to tell you it was something else. It was the thing, which I don't think actually was I think it was only a small fraction of it, folks. But actually, let's get into some other stuff, because I wanted to cover some new stuff that I didn't cover over my other channel. again, like I said, you have tons of videos talking about this chicken eggs thing that's going on. Everyone's talking about it, although the outlets aren't talking about it whatsoever. And what's really curious is we just had this come out today. We had 2 new facilities. Actually, one was in New Zealand. It's the largest one in New Zealand. Supply, of course, chain. We're talking New Zealand, largest egg farm, gone. Between 50 to 75,000 hens, okay, gone. And of course, then we had one a week ago in Connecticut, 100,000 hens gone. There was one in Minnesota recently. Oh, actually, that wasn't recent. That was that was some months ago. But there was also a number of other ones. There's actually one today. There's two today. There's this New Zealand one, and there was also another one. What was the other one? Let me see. I think it's right here. It was a manufacturing plant that had, I think it dealt with eggs and something else as well.
Okay, so it's not just eggs. All right, supply chain destruction. Okay, it doesn't say anything about eggs. Massive fire demolishes U.S. manufacturing plant after 100 plus food plants. What is this? What are we looking at? Okay, we're looking at the destruction of our food supply. Okay, which is going to cause what? Famine. Very little food to feed many, many people. Okay, this is Sale Daddy's channel 17 hours ago. Something very bizarre is happening to America's food supply, farms and processing centers. Look, somebody's manufacturing the famine. Read it again. After 100 plus food plants explode. Is this just happening? No. Somebody's doing it. Who's doing it? The devil made me do it. Okay? Now, it goes above that. We all know that man's goings are of the Lord. So the Most High is bringing his famine. Okay? The Most High is bringing Jacob's trouble. Okay? All we got to do is go back. Who eats chicken? My nigga. Right? Egg farm. What comes from eggs? Chicken. You got to have chicken to have eggs. So who is this directly in the spirit? Who is this directed at? Okay, you Jakes. Okay? Now, good enough. Spending too much time on these. Let's get one more. Let's go into the famine, which he did already. Not the famine. That was the famine. Let's get Dr. Anthony, this guy. So I can bear with me. This is Ron Yates 6 days ago. They knew this would happen. They didn't think Falsey would say this. Prepare now. Prepare for what? What's going on?
Preemptive strike is, right? It's hitting first and hitting hard. It's meant to put your foe in a confused state where you can take them down. Dr. Anthony Fauci hasn't left his post for very long, but he's already going out on television calling out Elon Musk. Now you gotta wonder why. Oh wait, it's because of the Fauci files, right? They're set to drop and he wants to put up his defenses early. Or does he? It's also now been found that it wasn't just the government who laid in bed with social media platforms. Even Big Pharma had a spot there, as it's come out that they censored a lot of information during the pandemic with their focus on their vaccines. Kind of makes sense why they're now deciding to boost the prices on things. They worked overtime just to get the miracle drug's credibility intact. And as if it wasn't tough enough to begin with, we're now hearing from the Fed that they will be forced to make very unpopular decisions to get the economy back to normal. And here I was thinking that they were already doing that. Now, before I continue, please make sure to share this video with your friends. Don't forget to like it too. We definitely want to get the message out and get as much truth out to the people. And since this is one of the best places to actually get your daily dose of the truth with what's going on in Washington, D.C., Social Security, state of our economy, SSI, SSDI, SNAP and EBT, passive income, the housing market, stock market, and everything in between, go ahead.
Going into the part of Jacob's trouble that deals with the money, okay? The C-HIP.
Subscribe to the channel. Also, if you own a home, make sure your home is protected. Get your free home warranty quote. The link is in the description down below this video. So what do you think of when you wake up? I mean, seriously, just take a second and think about that question because I already have my answer. Do you have yours? Great. Now, if you ask me, I normally tend to think about everybody in this community. I know it sounds corny, but let's face it, you and I have been through a lot. It's been years now, and we're set to go through even more as we feel the pressure of this economy. Inflation's not letting up anytime soon, and I know that our cash flow, especially those who rely on fixed income like Social Security, SSI, SSDI, SNAP, and EBT benefits, who may not necessarily have a fully maxed out 401k, maybe IRA, Roth IRA investment account to lean on. The constant threat of losing our assets and becoming delinquent on credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, American Express is getting hard on us. And it's even worse when we think of the fact that we've had financial freedom only if...
Okay, he's talking about money. Let's get to the pestilence here, and we'll look up that word.
I'm talking about the worst possible crime of our lifetimes.
There is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak.
I mean, he could have just said, hey guys, we're planning the pandemic. Just thought I should let you know in some weird cryptic way. No.
Okay, now you heard it out of his own mouth. Let's go back to Matthew. We're planning what? That. Okay. We showed where they're destroying the food supply. That's where the famine will come from. All right, so who's doing this? Esau. Who's doing this? Esau. Fauci. Pestilence. Let's look up pestilence. Slovakia. What the hell is that? Okay. Here we go. Slovakia, bear with me. Let's look up the word pestilence. Definition. Okay. A fatal epidemic disease, especially bubonic plague. You can put the CV right in there. A fatal epidemic. What they call it, the scandemic, right? Pestilence. Merriam-Webster. Contagious or infectious epidemic disease that is virulent and devastating. Okay? Something that is destructive or pernicious. All right? So you get it, right? It's the CV. Going back to Fauci. Now, what is this? A disease. Was the CV a disease? An infectious disease? Of course it was. So go to Matthew. And what is this? Fauci created. Gain of function. Let's watch a little more. He's going to go into gain of function.
I'm confirming it, but yeah, it's going to happen and we're going to let it happen. This guy can't be serious. This was even before President Trump took office. He didn't even talk about data, like how scientists predict stuff that may happen in the future, right? He said this as if it was factually going to happen whether we liked it or not. Data or no data. And what does history say? It happened. Although Fauci hasn't even looked back at his statement, he also hasn't the faintest of clues as to what's happening because you guys remember his recent deposition, right? He doesn't recall anything from the health crisis. And with Elon Musk teasing about this heat from the Fauci files, it seems as if the good doctor is already readying his fire extinguisher. What are your concerns?
In today's world,
Slovakia. This is important. I know I'm going long, but gotta bring it up.
What are your concerns, if any, about the Fauci files on Twitter?
Well, A, no concerns, and B, I have no idea what he's talking about.
The devil lying with a straight face. Okay? Lying.
I mean, there's a lot of misinformation, conspiracy theories, disinformation going on.
And of course, Elon Musk also said that you should be prosecuted.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's talking about there?
I don't have it. Major, I don't have a clue of what he's talking about.
Well, as near as I can tell, Dr. Fauci, it is about the idea that the National Institutes of Health funded gain-of-function research, some of that at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, and that, some believe, is responsible for COVID.
Well, if you look at first of all, collaborative research internationally has been something that has been extremely beneficial to society in general. The reason a very small grant, about $120,000 a year, was given to the Chinese, which, as a matter of fact, resulted in research that was able to definitively prove that the original SARS-CoV-1 went from a bat to a civet cat to a human.
All right, I gotta.
And gain of function is making it so that it will go from animal to human. Altering it. Gain of function. We want it to do this. Okay, what is he going to say?
Why are we sending $120,000 annually to China for gain of function research? Didn't he contradict himself right there? He says that there was no funding. He didn't know what Elon Musk was talking about, but then says that China was given money. I'm not even sure what to make of it, but I swear that those two statements, they don't match, do they?
Okay, I know exactly what to make out of it. All right. Never trust your enemy. Who is your enemy? Anthony Fauci. Okay, so, yeah. We're just warning the people. What do you got to do? How do you get out of this? What is coming? Let's quickly throw the C-hip in there. If I can. I might not be able to. Let me see. Let's get F13. Okay. And he causeth all. Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a cherubim in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save that he had the cherubim, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay? What do they call that? That group, the rap group? The Mobb Deep. The Mobb Deep. Deep under your skin. The MOB. All right, so let's get. That's what that is. All right, all going into. Oh, we got to get this. Got to get the hour, and then we'll get out. This goes into the Mobb Deep. All right. Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right. The Mobb Deep. All of this is going into Jacob's trouble. That is here now. Okay. What do I got on the Mobb Deep? Real quick. Let's see. Sure, I got something. Where's the Pacific Palisades at? What is this? Oh, this is your boy. Alizé. Shall I get Alizé? Let me see.
Mark is an obsolete doctrine. There are many doctrines that come from the old school that have been rendered obsolete, and that's okay. Give me the book of Daniel, how the knowledge shall increase.
This is Revelation, part 10.
Okay, so this is Sakari, 11 days ago. Dub 3, the truth about the Mob Deep. And, okay, so he's going into what it's not. Okay. Never does he really say the C-hip, but the point is that somebody's doing this. Let's go to here. Let's go back here. Let's go back here. Okay, who's he? And he causeth all. Who's he? Okay, who's he? Well, let's investigate who he is. This is he right here. Revelation 12 and 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan. Okay, count those. The great dragon 1. That old serpent 2, called the devil and Satan. There's 4 names for Anthony Fauci. Well, is Fauci the devil? No. But his ilk. Okay. He's red, is he not? The first came out red all over. Let's get the devil. What color is the guy with the horns on his head? The pitchfork in the tail. We'll end on this. Genesis 25 and 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like the devil. Salakia, all over like a hairy garment. They called his name Esau. There's the devil right there. Right. And Anthony Fauci is an Edomite. Okay? And he's acting like the devil. Therefore was his name called Edom. Okay? Which means red all over like a devil. All right, so we're going to end it right there. Yeah, well, let's get this. Revelation 2 and 16, repent, or else I will come unto thee quickly and will fight against them with the sword of my mouth. You got to repent. All right? Repent and keep the commandments. All right, and there's more, but we'll end it right here. We hope that the elect were edified. You brothers and few sisters with that shalom.